it says due to, oh no, am I live? Can you check if I'm live on Facebook, please, darling? Hello, New Forest Spiritual Witch. Haha, I'm going to the New Forest quite soon. Hey, everybody. Ah, yes, it seems to be working on Facebook and on Instagram. Woo! How you going, guys? I thought I'd just hop on a couple of minutes early for once instead of being late. Yes, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. Yay! Sorry, I kind of got out of the habit, so now I'm back on both. Hi, everybody. Let me just put on my glasses so I can see. The comments on Facebook are a bit harder to read. Hello, Trisha. Hello, Katie. Hello from Montana, Erin's Crabtree. Erin's Crabtree. Hello, Whole You. Hello, Stacy. From Sarasota. Flew your Learjet up to... No, that was Nova Scotia. I'm sure she says Sarasota in that song, doesn't she? BJ Curtsy wants to be in my video. Hello, Annette. Hello, Ankit. Hi, everybody. So I'm just going to put on some Edo and Joe. Here we go. If you don't know their music, I play them nearly every time I do a new or a full moon ceremony, and it's Edo and Joe, EDO and Joe.com. Now, Instagram, you don't have to worry about this. Facebook, don't click any links. They are spammers, okay? They're spammers and they just want to trick you. So don't click any links. And my beloved husband Olivier is actually in the chalet, and he will be working to delete the spammers as fast as they can come on here. And hopefully we will discourage them and they will stop coming on here. But they basically just want to trick you, take your money. Hello, yes, someone's saying lovely holiday. Yes, it's been amazing. Still got 1 minute before we start. And today's our last full day here at the lake. Let me see if I can show you the lake a bit better. Can you see the lake in the background there? Looks sort of whited out because of the light, but it's actually amazing blues, lots of different blues. Yeah, it's been amazing. Ah, Swati, hello from India. Hello, Annette. Hello, Nifty Nutrition. A bit of, so we're going to do a full moon ceremony here tonight. I kind of wish that I'd waited and I was doing it tonight late, so I could be in the dark, because I actually prefer doing these full moon ceremonies once it's actually dark. But I kind of messed it up, and then I changed the time because, I mean, I'll be frank, we're going out for a family dinner with our friends that we've been on holidays with for 3 weeks, and I didn't want to have to kind of race away from the table halfway through dinner. Go, excuse me, just while I rush off and do a full moon ceremony. So we're doing this now, then my son and I are going to go for a swim, and then we're going to go out for dinner. And I thought, I don't know what time we're going to get home, so let's just do it now. But once I get back to London very soon, then I will, I think, start doing them again at night, because I love doing them at night. It is lovely here, Debbie. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Ron Jaranista is saying, I'll watch the replay tomorrow at full moon. So the full moon will take place tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's like in the afternoon, London time. Actually, I can tell you, because guess what? I have a diary that tells you all that information. Hang on. It's the 2021. Sold out now, I'm afraid. I'm getting a lot of people saying, can they get hold of this one? And this sold out in January. So if you want to get the 2022 one before it sells out, do it now. And it went in as a Sunday Times bestseller. Best news, well, not best news ever, but really, really good news. All right, so the full moon takes place tomorrow, August 22, at 1:01 p.m. London time, 10:01 p.m. Sydney time, LA time 5:01 a.m. and New York 8:01 a.m. So I hope wherever you are, you can work it out from there. So that's why I'm doing it now, because you really can't, I mean, I like to do them a bit before the full moon rather than after the full moon. All right, so let's just enjoy the music of Joe and Edo. So it's Edo, E-D-O, and Joe, J-O.com, if you love their music like many of us do. Got my little incense here, it's really nice. All right, let's just breathe a bit. I'm outside, but it's very private here. No one can really, I doubt anyone can hear us. People don't care anyway, they're not interested. They're just having a nice swim or walking past. Can you hear the lake? So this is Om Namo Narayani, which means I surrender to the divine, or I surrender to the Divine Mother, which is what we're going to be doing here today. Just smudge you with a bit of incense. Smudge my new bracelet as well. I've got a new crystal bracelet. I did wash it in the lake, but it won't hurt to smudge it with a bit of incense. I've got some homegrown sage somewhere. I'm not quite sure where though. Oh, Sandy, I'm glad you think it's a perfect place for a ceremony. Yeah, the background is beautiful. It's a beautiful lake. It's an amazing lake, actually. All right. And you can hear the lake, that's good. All right. Just let it play out. Just breathe in and out. Okay, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Lorna Jane, ask away. If I read it and I can answer it, I'll answer it for you. This beautiful bit of flute. I know, we've had the beautiful bit of flute, beautiful guitar. C'est quel lac? C'est le lac Léman. Lac, c'est le Léman. En fait, on dit en français, le Léman. En anglais, c'est Lake Geneva. So I'm in the French part of Lake Geneva. There's a Swiss part and a French part, and we're on the French shore. And it's just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing manifestation. All right, so there we go. So I hope you're all feeling relatively chilled out after that. Welcome, welcome, welcome to what is actually the second full moon in Aquarius ceremony we're doing, because last month was the full moon in Aquarius, and as you may know, this is also the full moon in Aquarius. So how is this so? How is this so? Why is this so? Well, before I tell you, I'm just going to give you one more reminder. If you're on Facebook, don't click any of those links that the spammers are posting. They are just trying to trick you. And my husband's in there trying to delete them, but they do go very fast. All right, so I thought what I would do is I would read something from my 2021 diary, which, as I just said, is sold out. So please don't write to me and say, can you get a copy? Because I literally don't have any copies left apart from this one. But I thought I would read, I actually thought what I would do is I would actually read a little bit from this diary this month. Just, I don't always read everything from it, but this month there's some really good stuff in here, and it's the second full moon in Aquarius in a row, and it just seems like a really good opportunity to share with you what's in the diary for those of you who don't have a copy and who want to then get a copy for next year, because you can buy the 2022 one now on wherever, Amazon, Booktopia, Dimmix, hay house, everywhere. All right, so it's a blue full moon in Aquarius, and I'll tell you about blue in a minute. So this month's full moon takes place in Aquarius, as did the last. The reason is that there are 30 degrees in each sign, okay? So there are 12 signs and there are 30 degrees in each sign. That's why the circle is 360 degrees. The last full moon in Aquarius took place in the very early degrees of Aquarius, actually at 0.1 degrees. Whereas this month takes place at the very end of the sign at 29 degrees, okay? So there are various definitions of a blue moon, because this is a blue full moon in Aquarius, and none of them are astrological. You may or may not be surprised to hear. Rather, they are astronomical. So they're more concerned with astronomy than astrology. In this case, or they can sometimes be folkloric as well. In this case, the full moon is called a blue moon, not actually because it's the second full moon in Aquarius in a month. It's not because of that, actually. It's because it's the third full moon in a season, in the case of the Northern Hemisphere summer, or if you're in down under in the case of winter. It's the third full moon in this season with 4 full moons, and they just, for whatever reason, it gets called a blue moon. Now, obviously, we all know that, you know, there's this expression, isn't there? Once in a blue moon, okay? And like, even though there's no actual astrological significance to the fact that this is a so-called blue moon, you know, it kind of is a rare opportunity. If you don't know, and especially if you speak a foreign language and you don't know the expression, once in a blue moon means something that's not going to happen very often. I won't try and translate it into French, or shall I? Quelque chose qui ne va pas se passer très souvent. If I can't speak French after a month in France, I'll never speak it. So something that only happens really rarely, you say once in a blue moon. Now, astrologically, there is 0 significance to this. Symbolically, there is some kind of significance for 2 reasons. One, because it's a blue moon, and you know, the collective consciousness knows about blue moons. It's once in a blue moon. It's a rare opportunity. And in this case, the rare opportunity is that it's the second full moon in the sign of Aquarius in a row, in a month, which means we are getting double the chances to release resistance, to release fear, and generally to change our lives, So, actually, darling husband, if you're listening, can you please bring me out my copy of Moonology, if you have it? I just want to read something from there as well. So, okay, so let's keep going. So, if there's something you're trying to achieve, or more specifically, trying to release, try again now. Try again now. Do you have resistance to something in your life, and is it blocking you from achieving your goals? So it could be, for example, that you are really worried about something, constantly worrying about something, and your worry is going to stop you from achieving your goals. So that would be the kind of thing that you might want to release. You know, I mean, all year, you know, we've kind of had this thing of, you know, we knew it was going to be a tough year because of all the Saturn square Uranus clashes, and you know, in Australia, they've all had it really, really easy. You know, lucky them. I'm happy for them. My mum and my sister are there, and now, of course, you may have heard they're having an outbreak. They're all in lockdown. So you know, it might be. Thanks, darling. It might be in. You know, if you're in Australia, for example, which I don't know what time it is in Australia, probably if the Australians are all asleep right now when you wake up, you know, you might be going through lots of fears about the coronavirus and about the vaccine and about lockdown and about how it's going to impact your life or your business, or all these sorts of things that come up, you know. And if you're constantly worrying about that, then basically you're going to attract it, because the more we focus on something, the more we bring it into our lives. So, or you might have a health concern that you're constantly going over and over and over in your head, or you might have a fear about your partner, for example, or about never finding a partner or whatever. So that's the kind of thing that is a really, really good thing to release this full moon, because we're getting this sort of like a second chance to do a double release. So we'll be doing that in the not too distant future. We're going to write it all down, and I'm going to burn it symbolically for everybody. Okay, all right. The full moon, there's nearly always someone to forgive, whether it's yourself or someone else. So reread the formula for forgiveness and karma release, which actually is in this diary, but is also in my book Moonology, which is basically the mother of all the moonology. Also consider the symbolism of the Leo Aquarius axis, which this full moon straddles. The Leo energy is showy and bold, while the Aquarius energy is detached and cool. Somewhere in our lives, we really need to find a balance between these energies. So I just want to say, now, just say, for example, you are concerned about your business, or you're concerned about your health, or, you know, whatever it is that you're concerned about. I'm not saying, oh, just ignore them, you know, just release your fear and just pretend everything's okay. That would be spiritually bypassing, and that is not what we do. But what I am saying is try to release the fear, okay, so that you can do what needs to be done in a less manic way. I'm getting some really good ones on Facebook. People saying, forgiving myself and all others, letting go of all the toxic people in my life. I'm releasing all the hindrances and obstacles from processing and possessions of my land, releasing fear and lack and outdated BS. That's exactly the kind of thing that you want to be releasing. Oh, someone's releasing sadness about their relationship with their daughter. Yeah, we just need to let it go. Now, what does it mean when we let it go? Does it mean we're just like, oh, I don't care anymore? No, it doesn't mean that either. Basically, here's the thing. I was actually just writing about this. I'm going to be doing a couple of workshops later this year. One for the East-West Bookshop. I think they're in Seattle. I'm not quite sure. And I'm doing another one for the Conscious Life Expo. They're both online, which comes out of LA. And I was writing about, for one of them, I'm doing something about just basic moonology. And if you don't know about moonology, that's my moonology book, which has been in the bestsellers now for more than 250 weeks on Amazon. It's amazing. I was writing about it today, and I was saying this thing of, you might know that you need to make wishes at the new moon. A lot of people know that anymore. A lot of people know that now. But what they don't realize, it's actually the work we do now that changes everything in terms of the wishing. Because what we're doing is we're letting go, okay? Because when you're manifesting, if you're focused on the negative all the time, you're just going to attract the negative. So the full moon, which comes around once a month, it's a really, really good moment. All the feelings come up. It's a really good moment to just let them go, okay? All right, so that is that. So let's just start with the full moon forgiveness and karma release, because I'll get it out of Moonology, because it should be easier to find because I've read it so many times. All right, so I'm actually going to put on a bit of music again, because I want you to kind of really enjoy the experience. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, I'm going to move a little bit closer so you can definitely hear me. So Elizabeth's releasing fear of being alone, just releasing. All right. Sorry, I'm going through Edor and Joe's tracks. I'm going to release this one. Releasing fear of not being able to love, releasing self-doubt. Okay. I'll just turn it down so it's just in the background. All right, are you ready to do the releasing? we're actually going to start with forgiveness, okay? Because forgiveness is the thing that really stuffs us up. You know, when you're angry with someone, when you're angry with yourself, when you need to forgive someone, when you need to forgive yourself, that's when you get the blockages that block manifesting a beautiful life that you want, okay? So we're going to start with releasing through forgiveness, all right? We're going to start with forgiveness, okay? So I want you, someone's saying they're worried they're never going to amount to anything. You need to forgive yourself for thinking like that about yourself. Fear of loneliness, fear of not being good enough. You need to forgive yourself for all negative thoughts, all right? Here we go. Under the glorious full moon, I forgive everything. Just close your eyes and let the words wash over you. Everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive myself of past mistakes. The universe is love, and I am forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life. Realizing this, I abide in peace. I bring love and healing thoughts to all my thoughts, beliefs, and relationships. I learn my lessons and I move on. I call on my soul fragments to be cleansed by the full moon, and I call on them to rejoin me now. I send love to myself and everyone I know and everyone who knows me in all directions of time. Under this glorious full moon, I am healed. My life is healed, and so it is. And then put your hands between your boobs if you've got them, and throw your hand away as far as it will go. So be it. So be it. And just breathe out. Breathe out. There you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the diary. Again, I don't usually read from the diary because I figure if people have got it, they'll read it themselves. But this week I thought I would, to celebrate the month that it went into the Sunday Times bestsellers list, but also just because I wanted to. Because there's a really nice exercise. There's an exercise for every new and full moon, and there's a really nice one this month. I actually really like it. So it says after the full moon, okay? The first alignment after this full moon is a harmonious one between Venus, the planet of love and abundance, and Saturn, the planet of longevity. Make a list, that's what we're going to do now. Make a list of any new commitments to do with love or abundance and how you feel you can achieve them. Okay, so I want you to write down any goals you have to do with love and abundance. I know it's full moon, but just do this. Any goals you have about anyone you love, any relationship goals, any abundance goals. And then, most importantly, consider what you need to release from your life to make those dreams come true, okay? So there's some block. If it hasn't happened yet, there may be a block that you can release, all right? So write that down, and then we're going to burn that along with our forgiveness list, which we're going to do in a minute. So first of all, if you've got a pen and paper, so write down, let's just say write down a relationship you want to work with, okay? You can put it in the comments or you can write it down on a piece of paper. All right, I've written mine down. Have you written yours down? What are you releasing it? A lot of you have already written it down. Katie's going to be her true self. Okay, so to achieve that, what block do you need to work through? What release do you need to make now? Okay, so write down. All right. So part of the process here that we're doing is just getting clear on the blocks that we need to release. Okay. So for example, someone there saying the relationship with my dad. So what block do you need to release to improve your relationship with your dad? You know? Kath on Instagram is saying she wants to release her negative relationship with herself. Okay, so what blocks do you need to release? So now write down what you're releasing. Just write, you know, we'll just do a few minutes. All right, a bit of a flourish if you want. Linda forgives herself for being less attentive. Okay, write it down. And what blocks do you need to release so that you are more attentive? All right. Releasing a toxic relationship, that's hard. All right, so I'm now going to burn this for all of us. Call on the divine to help us all in our intentions to release. Please be with us so that we can exercise our most high selves, our most divine selves, and release all our fears, all negativity. Om Namo Narayani, Om Namo Narayani, Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani just means I surrender to the divine, or I surrender to the divine mother in Sanskrit, and it's the chant at the ashram where I've been going for about 15 years in India. Here we go. I'm burning this for all of us. Give it a good burn. It's all gone. And of course, if you are burning something in your own house, don't burn the house down, please. All right, so what I thought I would do now is I would do a card from my new Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. If you haven't seen them yet, they come out in October, so nobody's got a copy yet. but I thought, I've started using them, and I thought I will do a card, because what these cards are, they're a bit different to the other first deck of cards, which are still amongst the best selling in the whole wide world. They're actually about manifestation. So in terms of achieving whatever it is that we want to achieve, that we're releasing our blocks to, what do the cards say that we need to do for the manifestation? And what you'll see is there's a note about how well we're doing with this, and then also some advice on how to actually make it even better. All right, are you ready? It's a message for me. It's the last quarter moon in Pisces. So talk less, feel more. All right? So before we read it, I'm actually going to take the card at its word. I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes and envisage your life, how you'd feel when, so we'll be talking less and feeling more. How will you feel when you've released that block? What will your life look like? So just close your eyes. And just imagine an event in the future, and just dismiss any fear that comes up. Just see it in your mind's eye. All right. And now say an affirmation. I am so happy with what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I can't wait for this to happen. This is going to be amazing. Just take away any negativity, any fear. I know we normally do this at new moon, but I just wanted to do it now because we're having the second chance of this release. Feel it in your heart, and all your fears are released. All right, so now let's see what the book says. Last quarter moon in Pisces. Oh, it's actually the last deck in the last card in the entire deck. Okay, interesting. So the danger in your current situation is you're going to be really good at starting things and less good at finishing them. This card suggests you need to talk less and feel more. So rather than telling people what you want now, feel your feelings about what you want. What comes up? Do you believe in yourself or not? Perhaps you started strong, but you're running out of steam. If so, go within and ask yourself how committed you are to your goals. Remember, it's okay to change your mind. One of the current energies in this card is about feelings, and the other is about being in your head. Where are you? Are you in your heart or your head? Can you meld the two? And that kind of relates back to what I was saying about you don't just pretend everything's okay. You can use your head. You know, say you've got money worries. Just doesn't mean you just release money worries and then just sit on the couch and expect a chunk of cash to fall through the ceiling. You know, it's actually about releasing the fear and moving forward free of fear. So Wired Up Weird is saying, wow, this resonates. Thank you, great, I'm glad. Sometimes feelings are enough. It's good to talk, but it's also good to just be. Now, with these new cards, there's always like a bit of manifesting magic. There's a hint about what to do or how to use it. So here we have the crystals that work especially well for this sign and for this manifestation are purple fluorite, labradorite, sodalite, amethyst, desert rose selenite or celestite. So if you've got any of those crystals, Choose one, hold it while you meditate, visualizing a lustrous gold light swirling around you. Alternatively, keep your crystal close as you work through your situation, or use them to make a grid. All right? And here is the manifestation affirmation for all of us. I feel all my feelings and it feels good. You know, because we have to feel our feelings, otherwise they get stuck inside us, you know? I was just listening to someone talking about the fact that, you know, you have to let it out when there's an upset. The last quarter moon is in Pisces takes place when the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Pisces. It knows that there's a time and a place for conversation, so there you go. So that's one of the first times I've read out everything from my new cards, which are out in October, but available for pre-order now. Available for pre-order now. All right, so on that note, I'm going to thank Joe and Edor for their beautiful music. EDOANDJO, Edo and Joe, EDO and JO.com for their beautiful, beautiful music. Oh, someone's saying they won my new deck from purchasing my 2022 diary. Yes, DKCN M30. I will be sending these out when we get back. 10 people won a deck when they bought my 2022 diary. But we're going to have bonuses for the diary as well, don't worry. Everything's got bonuses these days. But I'm going to send them back when I get back to London. I'm still in France, as you can see. All right, so what we're going to do, and can I just say with these cards, by the way, they're very different to the first deck. Because they're very challenging, because they've got the quarter moons in them as much as the new and the full moons. So I actually really like them. I'm still getting to know them, but I really love them so far. All right, so I'll be going back to doing my 11/11s when we get back to London as well. So I'll be doing a daily card with them, which is such a great way to get to know the deck. I mean, even though I wrote it, you know, it's only when you have it in your hand that you know what it's like. All right, so we're going to end with 3 Om Namo Narayanis. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you for everything. All right, here we go. Tracy Wall. Okay. I'm going to end with 3 Om Namo Narayanis. And the idea of this is we're surrendering it to the divine. So we surrender everything we've just done now to the divine, into the divine's hands. Now, we are divine, okay? But we're here in the third dimension. We're surrendering it to our higher selves, or to the divine, or to the goddess, or whatever you want to call it. We're surrendering it to the divine so that all our good work keeps going. So here we go. Just 3 Om Namo Narayanis. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Lots of love, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And have a beautiful full moon. Remember to look up tonight. If you're in Australia, some of you said you woke up at 2 a.m. and here we are. Have a little look outside. And if you're in Europe, on this side of the world, remember to look up tonight. The moon will be the fullest that she's going to be tonight, before she is actually officially full tomorrow, about 16 hours from now. All right. Lots of love, guys.